Yes, you can make a nutrient-dense and gluten-free muffin that is fluffy, gorgeous, and full of rich chocolatey flavor. My double chocolate chip zucchini banana muffins are nutritionally supercharged with zucchini, cottage cheese, bananas, and applesauce. And they're made gluten-free with brown rice or oat flour. Maple syrup keeps them naturally sweetened without any processed white sugar or corn syrups. Unlike most gluten-free muffins, these muffins have a gorgeous dome on top and have a light and fluffy texture. We're going to start with a simple ordinary green zucchini, and not only is this going to add nutritional value, but it's also going to add a lot of moisture to our muffin. So we're just going to cut off the top, and then we want to shred it. And after we shred it, we'll want to strain it to get rid of any excess liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and shred it right into my favorite, I guess you call it a nut milk bag or strainer bag. So I'm just going to hold my cheese grater inside the bag, go ahead and just shred my zucchini and burn a few calories in the process. And once the zucchini is shredded, we want to squeeze out as much liquid as possible. Now, if you don't have a strainer bag, you could also use a dish towel or even some cheesecloth. So I'm going to go ahead and take my bag here and just start twisting. You're going to see how much liquid is going to come out of this zucchini. So we're going to keep twisting. Amazing, all that came out of one zucchini. Now we're going to add all of our wet ingredients to our mixing bowl. And I will be mixing these with an immersion blender, but you could also do this in an upright blender such as a Vitamix. We'll start with 2 bananas, and you want them to be nice and ripe, which means you're going to have a lot of these big brown spots on the outside. And that means that the banana is at its optimal sweetness. And then we're going to add half a cup of cottage cheese. Now, if you're like me, you like the nutritional benefits of cottage cheese, but maybe you're not crazy about the texture, well, we're going to blend it with the bananas, which will eliminate the texture. And then we'll add half a cup of applesauce, half a cup of maple syrup. Then we'll add 2 tablespoons of oil, and my favorite is extra light virgin olive oil. And for flavor, we'll add a teaspoon of vanilla, as well as 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to mix these together until everything is super smooth, which is why we're not adding our eggs yet, because we don't want the eggs to be overmixed. There we go. Now we don't see any more cottage cheese kernels or banana chunks. And now we can add 2 eggs, and then I'm just going to mix these together with a whisk, just until the eggs are well blended. And now we're going to add our dry ingredients. Now you could use either brown rice flour or oat flour. And if you want to use oat flour, you can just take regular oats or quick oats and then just grind them down in a blender and they will instantly become flour. I'm going to go ahead and use 2 cups of brown rice flour. And this gives you all the fiber and nutritional benefits of brown rice in a muffin. Then we'll add 1/3 cup of cocoa powder to bring in our chocolate flavor. And for our seasonings, I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we'll just whisk these together until well combined. And then we just have this beautiful, rich, chocolatey batter that smells so good. And a really simple hack to help make that zucchini even less detectable is to go ahead and put it onto a cutting board after it's shredded, and then we'll go through and we're going to dice it even finer so that they're a very small texture inside the muffin and less detectable. So I just go through with a chef knife and just very quickly dice them up nice and small. Now I used a medium zucchini, and that's going to fill about 1 cup packed. So you could easily use 2 smaller zucchinis or a really large zucchini, and then just measure out 1 cup of shredded zucchini. And last but not least, we'll add half a cup of mini chocolate chips. But I'm going to go ahead and hold out about a tablespoon of them because I want to sprinkle it on top of the muffins. At this point, it's a lot easier to just mix it with a spatula versus trying to use your whisk, because it gets kind of thick and that zucchini can kind of get caught up in your whisk. So we'll go ahead and just gently mix all of this together. This recipe will fill 12 muffin cups, and my absolute favorite tray to use is the silicone muffin tray. The cups are really flexible, which makes it super easy to just pop the muffin out, and then it has this sturdy metal frame around it, which makes it really easy for getting it in and out of the oven. So we'll go ahead and give it a quick spray. I'm just using some coconut oil. And I used to think these batter scoops were overrated until I tried using one, and they're actually really helpful. So I'm using the 1/3 cup batter scoop, and that's going to fill each muffin tray perfectly. And it also makes it nice and neat for dumping it into the cup without getting batter all up around the sides. And then to make these muffins extra beautiful, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of our mini chocolate chips on top. That's just going to create a really good indicator of what flavors are inside these muffins, as if you couldn't guess by the color. Now, as a really simple hack to help get the high dome on our muffins, we're going to put these into a 425-degree oven, and we're going to set it for 5 minutes. Once those 5 minutes are up, we're going to leave the muffin tray in the oven. We're going to turn the temperature down to 350, and then we're going to set our timer for an additional 20 minutes. Giving them the high heat boost is going to help them rise really quick, but then cooking back down at 350 will help the rest of the muffin cook nice and strong. Well, here are our baked muffins, and look at how gorgeous those are. They have this beautiful dome on top, and the smell is absolutely amazing. Once you take them out of the oven, you'll want to let them sit and cool on your counter for probably 10 or 15 minutes. And then it will be very easy to just pop them right out of this muffin tin. And because they have so much chocolate inside of them, you'll want to let them cool probably to at least room temperature so that they're not quite as messy. Although you could always eat it with a fork if you're impatient. I have a muffin here that I baked earlier, and so it's had a chance to cool. And I love that you can get this beautiful dome shape just by using the oat flour, or in this case, the brown rice flour. And if you do use the oat flour, you will get the exact same result. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. You can just see how light and fluffy this is inside. It just has a really beautiful sponge to it. Now for the best part. That is amazing. Now I probably totally have chocolate on my lips, but I don't mind. As soon as I bite into the soft muffin, I get just the delicious chocolatey flavor, and then I instantly get sweetness coming in from the banana, and then it's just moist and rich as I continue to get a little bit of texture from the chocolate chips. And it's almost impossible to detect the zucchini in this because we chopped it nice and fine so I don't see it in the muffin, and then through the bite you can't really taste it, but it just adds moisture to the muffin, which makes it so smooth and delicious. So not only are these muffins going to be emotionally satisfying because it's a double chocolate muffin, but it's also going to be physically satisfying because it's nutrient dense with the zucchini and the cottage cheese and the applesauce and the brown rice flour. And by avoiding the processed white sugar and only using the minimal amount of natural sweeteners, this is healthy enough to be a delicious breakfast or a snack. But honestly, it's going to feel like you're eating a dessert. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. These muffins are so fun and easy to make. And if you'd like to see the full recipe card for this video, I've included a link in the video description below. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would really love to have a delicious gluten-free muffin recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me in my kitchen again next time.